Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Mazal Tov. Yes, Gary ben Moshe's son. Hi, Yosef. Mazal Tov Gary ben Moshe's son Yehuda is engaged to a girl that used to live right over here. The alarms are going off already. That means the island shouldn't go to sleep. Okay, good. This is a great picture. I thought this is phenomenal. This guy's doing the daf in a crane over Bet Shemesh. It's a chassid, he says, and he does the daf in between loads, and sometimes even while he's delivering the load, he is doing the daf. That's what he says here. I forgot to read these names yesterday, and we have to go. It's almost Yom Kippur. These are the new people that Mark Ashkenazi, with everything that he does for the shir, is doing $180 a month. Rabbi Bernard David, who's waving to his son right now on Zoom, $18 a month. Ilan Davidovici, $180. Yuda Dresner, $18. Binyomin Breger, huh? $18. Yitzi Diskin, $30. Mark Furman, $101. Ariel El-Kabas, $36. Ephraim Sherman, $18. Shulam Steinbach, $36. Joseph Moskowitz, $18. M. Friedman, $10. Aaron Gass, $18. Tzvi Korlin, $101. Yishkoyach. Ofer Lerman, $101. Leon Freyu. How do we say his name was? Frey. No, Leon Frey, I think it was. 18. Yeah? Dovid Landau, 20. Rabbi Isai, a very, very special day. Shalom, my name is Yehuda Noble, and today marks my 1000th daf with MDY. I started this journey while learning at Yeshivas Mevaseres only because you offered your offer of a free Gemara for anyone who joined Bayit Katan. I went there, spoke to them. It paid off. Even if one guy stuck with it, or even if one guy did one Masechta, but look at this. 1,000 days later, he describes what happened in his life through those 1,000 days. I thought I'd give it a try for a few days, and now here I am, 1,000 days later. Everything in my life has changed, but my Daf Yomi has remained a constant. In Yeshiva, first of all, I want to show you a picture of who we're talking about. Here he is, in Los Angeles. In Yeshiva, learning was relatively easy because of the Siddur Darim, but now it's much more challenging to find the time, Baruch Hashem. To find the time. Baruch Hashem, I'm married, I work full-time, and I have a baby boy. While I don't always complete the daf perfectly, I make sure to get it done, whether at double speed or by listening in the car without a Gemara in front of me. I try to always remember the idea that it's not about the daf, it's about the yomi. I have an Ian Chavrusa with my high school Rebbe a few nights a week, which is amazing, but it's not possible to do that every night. One of the highlights of my Daf Yomi experience is when a topic comes up, in Iyun, that I only know about because of Daf Yomi. Daf Yomi has also provided me with a sense of normalcy during difficult times. When my son was in the NICU for 2 weeks, Daf Yomi helped me maintain my emunah and provided comfort in that challenging environment. 1,000 days later, I want to express my deep Parnassa Tov and share how meaningful MDY is to me. Even on days when I don't feel like I'm accomplishing much or don't do it perfectly, I find it enriches all other areas of my learning and offers comfort during tough times. Every day, I truly enjoy the experience of learning the daf with MDY, even if I think that I only remember the jokes. I can't describe how incredible the feeling is on days when I do the daf with my healthy 5-month-old son on my lap, grabbing at the screen and staring at me while I follow the shir. Thank you for giving me access to Shas and the foundation to build my limud HaTorah and Bais Nem B'Yisrael on. Your Talmud, Yehuda Noble. Here's a picture of Rebbe Eli in Los Angeles. Yesher Koyach, Yehuda Noble. So today we have with us David Feinberg. You know what that means? That means that today I commemorate a Nes, Galui. Today is 25 days for me, 25 days of me saying a shir straight, for 5 years, 25 days short. It's 1,800 days of giving a shir. And every time I think about it, when I was up to 500, I thought it was a nice nigla, and it was. And I thought about it. I remember having the flu, not having the energy to get out of bed, couldn't daven, couldn't learn. And the flu happens all the time. It used to happen to me once a year, you get and to go for 5 years without a stop, with the safaris, with the skiing, with my son's chasana, with my daughter giving birth and almost dying, with everything in between, being able to give the daf every single day, to me, is an open nace. It shows me that HaKadosh Baruch Hu cares about the tzibur. It's the koyach of the tzibur. I think another machshava that happened this morning is that if a person really, really wants something and really goes for it, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu helps him out. It's something that, for me, it's a chayk v'lo yavar. There's nothing that could stop me, like if it's up to me, I won't stop. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, go, until you show that you don't want it. But, so, I have to say, Yishkar to the Rebbitzen Shalom, 1,800 days. Chai times 1,000. 1,800. Is it? No, it's not really. That's 18,000. Well, in Panovich, that's how it was. 1,800. So, thank you all for being here. Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, Sukkot, Pesach, Erev Pesach, Shkolim, 3 daf, Erev Pesach, 4 daf, this Erev Rosh Hashanah. But the daf goes on. It changed my life, and hopefully it changes other people's lives with me. So, Yishar Koyach, thank you, Dovid Feinberg, for being here. Hopefully you come every day, not only on the birthdays. Okay, let's jump into the daf. We have a Givaldik daf. And all the sponsors. There are many. Let's see, it's 721. Binyomin Rosenfeld Fatzlochem business. The Masech sponsor of safe and speedy return for all the hostages. This Parnassa Chodesh, Eli Nishma Zechariah ben Moshe, Eli Nishma Zechariah bas Yosef. Parnassa Chodesh, Binyomin Rosenfeld. For the zchusim that come from supporting limud HaTorah. Parnassa Yomi, Benjamin and Dr. Down Kaufman, Eli Nishma Simcha Ben Yirachmiel, our father Sidney Kaufman, all of us Shalom. And the art of the month, which in today's shir you could see a guy, a big Bal Kishrin. I learned with him Chavrusa once a week. Came over to me after yesterday's shir. He learned the Panovich. He said, I learned this daf. I didn't understand the word of it. When I was you'll after the daf, you'll say, why didn't you understand it? You made it so simple, so pashut. The art made a huge, huge difference. The art of the month for zchus, for Berel, and the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so enjoyable for so many. And here we go.
Excuse me.
It really is. You're excused. It really is a very easy daf. And you have a question already?
I was going to say, you talk about how it's hard to do Daf Yomi.
Yeah.
You teach it, but you teach it in English. You teach it in Hebrew again. And I don't know how many people know about the MDY kids, but you have another share for children. Your day is like 80 hours long. All the both of you. I'm just
go ahead. Thank you. I appreciate it. I knew I shouldn't let you speak. Okay. Itmar. I do appreciate it. Thank you. And I don't give the shir for kids. They replay a video of me, but that's okay. And I said the shir in Hebrew, I'd love to take credit for giving another shir, even though my day is long, but it actually helps my day. Because Baruch made a nace. I try to go above and beyond, and Hashem showed me that even if I go above and beyond, it's actually going to help my day, and it helps my day. It helps the shir in English. Almost every day I change the charts and change certain things, take out some of the dumb jokes, whatever. It's a better shir, I think, since the Hebrew. But anyways, shkoyach. Yeah, soon the shir in Yiddish will come, and Be'ez Hashem, even the shir in Hebrew will be better. I saw a new guy, a new face somewhere. Where's that guy? Oh, Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Eddie Fletcher from? No way. I thought like from Brooklyn or something. Wow, the accent. Eddie, what he brought you? You know Elvis from before? Okay, beautiful. Give out Aliyah 2 weeks ago? This is a record. Mamish a record. Okay, Givaldik. Itmar. Hey, wait a minute. You just reminded me something. Time out. You just I'm not kidding. Somebody sent you an email. Oy vavoy. How did I miss that? I don't know where it is. Wow, I'm going to have to read it tomorrow. It mentioned your name in there. Because he goes, maybe I should stop talking so much. Mendy's going to get nervous. And you just go, Itmar. Something like that. Okay? Itmar. Achim shecholku. So yesterday we had a case. You had two brothers who divided the Yerusha. Everything's great. This guy got the condo in Miami. This guy got the thing in Los Angeles. Everybody's sitting pretty. All of a sudden, a third brother shows up. Shalom Aleichem. I'm your brother. Who are you? DNA test, the whole thing. He's a brother. So we had a machlokes. Do you have to redo the whole Yerusha from scratch? Or each brother gives a piece and they all get the same amount. But the brothers, when the Yerusha, they get to keep their condo. They just have to give the porch. This one gives the kitchen to the brother. This guy. And like that, they do a chalukah. So we have something similar. Two lines from the top of Kuf Zayin Amud Aleph. Itmar. Achim shecholku ubo bal choiv v'notal chelko shel echol mehem. Here are the brothers, two brothers. They did a division, and then comes there's a loan. The father owed money to someone. And because they divided real estate, so real estate has an achrayus to the lender. So the guy comes and takes the piece of property, and one of the sons is left with nothing at this point. So what do? Rav Omar Botlo Machloikes Ushmul Omar Viter. Rav says that the division is bottle. What they did beforehand could throw out, and we have to restart. It's not fair that the son on the left doesn't get anything. So we'll redivide the property. Shmuel Omar Viter. He's Mavater. He forgave it. He doesn't get anything. Garnished. It's very famous, the line that Rav Shteiman used to say, Na re'isi v'gam zakanti v'lo re'isi mevater mafsid. I've never seen somebody who gives in lose. Anybody that gives in always wins. When people, Bachrim, would come to him for advice for marriage, he would always tell them, you have to be mevater. That's one. And two, you have to be mevater. And three, you have to be mevater. Guy comes to Rav Shteiman a few weeks later. He says, Rav Shteiman, I tried to explain to my wife how she has to be mevater. She's never mevater. What's very interesting is that we're standing here, huh? Yeah? What? Yeah, I know. But it says the word here. And we're playing with the word. You're right. The Viter means he lost. He's not mevater. He's mevater. He lost. He is. That's what mevater is. It's sometimes you lose, but that's mevater. Usually you do lose when you're mevater. What does mevater mean? You lost. But since we're standing here, Erev Yom Kippur, if you look at this line, it says Batla Machloikes Viter. There's the two ideas of Machloikes, of not having a Machloikes, Viter. So I have to mention this. I mentioned this once before, I think because somebody just sent me the short, so it reminded me. This is a time where people are open to being appeased, to getting a phone call from somebody and saying, hey, are you moichel me? It's a time to pick up the phone. I think everybody in this room knows somebody or has someone that they don't talk to, or they had some sort of machlokes. It's a perfect time to do it. And I'll just say a personal maisa. I'm not going to say the real personal maisas because I had my stories over the years, or maybe I will. But one story that I shared with the Oilam in the past, I think it's very powerful. A good friend of mine told me about his friend who hasn't spoken to his daughter for 20, 30 years, I think it was. Crazy, long time. So I said, I'm familiar with this kind of thing. Let me speak to him. She said, don't be crazy. It's 20, 30 years. I said, let me speak. I was very persistent, and he made a meeting between me, the guy I didn't speak to, and my friend. The three of us sat. I said, I don't want to be mechutzev, but what's going on here? What kind of craziness is this? You don't know what you did, blah, 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 the whole thing. I said, you're right, 100%. But you're not going to go to your grandkids' weddings. You're not going to see their bar mitzvahs. You don't know who your grandkids are. But what are you doing? back and forth. No, she should come to me and she should ask me mechila. The whole thing, the regular, because everybody's always right. Both sides are. You ask the daughter, she would say the same thing. I said, listen, don't be a fool. Put yourself down for one time. Tell her you're sorry. Whatever it is. You'll never be, so you won't be her best friend. You won't be the father-daughter relationship that everybody has. At least you'll be cordial. When you see her, you won't look the other way. You'll say hello to her. But now you can go to your grandkids' weddings. You can go to their bar mitzvahs. And he's makabel, he called up, and they have peace now. They have peace. So if you know somebody, you could schmooze with them. You could convince. Anybody could convince. You don't have to. And I wasn't a Maggid Shir back then. I was Tom, real estate dude. So, and I learned it on myself. It didn't really work once. I called somebody. I felt that this person, I didn't have to ask them mechila, but I called up and I begged and pleaded. I said, "You're 100% right." And the person's like, "But do you know what you did wrong?" I said, "Not really, but I'm asking you mechila. Until you don't know what you did wrong." I said, "So tell me." "No, that's the chutzpah. You don't even know what you did wrong." Kids, I called up another time. Still didn't work really 100%, but it's kedai to put yourself down. I think that's the trick. You're 100% right. You know you're right. I know you're right. But pretend you're not for a second and say you're not right and ask mechila. Okay, anyway. Zog the Gemara. Veravasi Omar Noitel Revia Bekarka or Revia B'Mois. So we have two shittas over here. We have the shitta that says the son that just everything was taken from him. He gets to redivide the Yerusha, get another share. And we have the other shita. Shmuel says he gets 0. So either he gets 50% of the Yerusha or he gets 0. Comes Ravasi and says he doesn't get 50% and he doesn't get 0. Let me make a pshara. He gets 25% of the Yerusha. 50%, who gets? The Balchoiv, the guy that was owed money. 50% is left, so divide that 50%. Sorry, he gets a half of the half. He gets a tiny portion because we don't know if he should get 50% of what's left. So he gets 25% of what's left. Yes, 25% of what's left. An eighth of what happened before. Okay, so now the Gemara explains. Famous machlokes in Shas, if sons that inherit are considered yarshim, meaning yesh breira. Yesh breira means retroactive clarification. So this is what the father left them. This is exactly when we decided I get the condo in Miami, you get the one in Los Angeles. So that's what the father left us at the time. We just figured it out now, but that's how it was. And therefore, when there's a loan, so both of the sons are chayiv to pay back the loan. So it's just like pretend that the guy took the loan back before there was a division. So what if they divided and then the guy took his loan? The guy took his loan and whatever's left over, that's what you have to divide. So they redivide everything. Ushmul Omar, here, I think we have. So Rav says, Batla Machloikis, they redivide. Shmuel says, Viter, he doesn't get anything. The guy on the left doesn't get anything. Why? Kasovar, Ha'achim Shecholku Lukuchis Habu. Sons that divide are like, they made a deal now. They purchased something from each other. They make a deal. You get the condo, I get this. So we just made a deal. Because Shmuel holds Ein Breira. There's no retroactive clarification. It starts right now. To the point, says the Rashbam, when Yovel comes, we redo everything. The Lekuchais. When you buy something, it's a piece of land, so you have to start all over. If it was, this is how it was at the time of the death of the father, you get this and I get that. So when Yovel comes, it just continues. But since we are purchasers, we just made a deal with each other, it goes back in Yovel. The point is that typically there's something called achrayas. When there's a loan, then there's a lien on all real estate. What if it wasn't even written in the document? Oh, who said that? Achrayus tol sefer. If it's not written in the document, so it's a mistake that the scribe, the sefer made. He forgot to put it in there. Over here, there's no achrayus. The brothers, because they make a deal with each other. They say, I don't give you a guarantee, you don't give me a guarantee. If something happens to your property, you don't come back to me, and if something happens to my property, you don't come. It's a mutual deal. So there's no achrayus, there's no guarantee, and therefore the guy that took the lender who took the property, he gets the property. The guy that lost his property doesn't have an achrayus, he doesn't have a warranty on it, and he doesn't get anything. Why? Again, because each brother is mevater, lets the other brother, he tells the other brother, if something happens to your property, then don't come to me. Each one does it to the other. So it erases the achrayus. Ravasi says we have a suffix here. What do we do when we have a suffix, Rabbi Isai? And therefore we have Ravasi over here. Ravasi says, he doesn't know. Are Yarshim, are the inheritors, do we view them as Yarshim? Do we say Yesh Breira or Ein Breira? Is there retroactive clarification or no? Hilkach, Noitel Revia, since we don't know what the halach is, so he takes a quarter Bikarka, or Revia B'mois. Over here, obviously, I didn't explain it so well. Maybe I skipped it when I read it before. Ravasi Omer Noitel Revia Bikarka Revia B'mois means he gets a quarter either in real estate, or you have to stick in the word Oi, according to the second Pshat in Rashbam, the preferred Pshat. It's either or. He only gets 20, he gets a quarter of what remains, because either he was supposed to get 50% of what remains, or zero. So I don't know what to do. I give him a quarter.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. A bunch of money. Let's see. Maybe he put it in here. Oh. I think he forgot. In this picture over here, the guy appears twice. One, he's on a piece of real estate, and one, he was supposed to have a bundle of money. So I don't know. I think he might have.
There's no cash in the pictures.
There's no cash in the picture. That's. I think he forgot the cash. So it's just a mistake. Okay. Yeah. For some reason, that always happens. When we talk about cash, it's like somehow it disappears. Fine. Omra Papa. Hilchasa. Hilchasa v'cholhani shmaitza. Now, the two halachas that we learned, one yesterday and one today, mikamtzen. Mikamtzen means, so let's see here. The halacha is mikamtzen. So it comes out an interesting thing that if that's the case, then we pass like Rav and Shmuel, like both. Mikamtzen means that you take, so in the case of Bama B'dinas Hayom, a third brother shows up. This guy got a condo in Miami. This guy got the condo in Los Angeles. Mikamtzen means you take the condo that I have, you give half, and this guy gives half. You divide it in a way that each brother gets exactly a third of the nechasim. But the guy that has the condo in Miami, he stays in the condo in Miami. He just gives part of the condo. He gives the dining room to his brother that showed up from South Africa. And the guy that has the condo in Los Angeles also keeps the condo. Listen, he already moved his mishpacha, the kids are already in schools, everybody's settled. But we got to give the brother something. So he takes something from the condo and gives it to the brother. That's mekamtzeh. Rav, in that case, would say, batul machloek is that you have to restart the whole Yerusha. The guy that got the condo in Miami might end up with the condo in Los Angeles because we're restarting the whole Yerusha. So the halacha says, Rapapa, I say mikamtzen. Mikamtzen throughout the whole thing. And therefore, mikamtzen in our case that we're discussing today, when the lender shows up and grabs one brother's property, mikamtzen would mean that you have to restart the whole chalukah, and the brother that his property got taken away from him gets something. Just like yesterday, all brothers get something. Today also, by the chayiv, every brother gets something. But that's Rav in this case. You see, Rav says, batal the machloikis, the chalukah is batal. Ameimar Omar, batal machloikis. I say batal machloikis. So what happens is very interesting. It changes. You see, batal machloikis, both of them become Rav. Batal machloikis, in yesterday's case, when a third brother shows up, you redo the whole entire Yerusha. The guy that got the condo in Miami gets the condo in Los Angeles, and shuffle everything so everybody gets a third. And in our case, it also remains that the halacha is like Rav, that bottom achloikis, when a Baal Chayv comes, so we redo the whole inheritance, and the son that lost his property to the lender gets a piece of property now. One thing I forgot to mention is, and we'll say it right now, in Ravasi, when Ravasi says that because I don't know what to do, is like Rav Shmuel, does he get 50% of what's left or zero? So we said, okay, he gets 25%. He gets, maybe I did say it. He gets it in cash, or I said it. Okay, but that's different. Yeah, I did say it, but it's a new chiddush because Rav doesn't say it and Shmuel doesn't say it. Ravasi, in his compromise, he sticks that in. Okay, Zog the Gemara. Tana Rabbana. V'hilchasa. Oh no, I didn't say these words. You're right. V'hilchasa batam achloikis. The halacha is like not this one, not where am I? Not Mekamtzin. This is Mekamtzin. The halacha is, oh, he fell off the chart over there. Batam achloikis. Tarabana. It's actually a very simple sugya. Tarabana shleish yardu lashim. We had this yesterday. That Bezdin comes to evaluate a piece of property that is owned by the young Yisaimim. Their mother, the widow, doesn't have what to eat. We have to do something quickly. We have to sell some property and get her some food. So they come to evaluate it. Let me show you what it looks like. It is a further... I just like the picture, how they come to evaluate the property. It's not working. Slide 26. What's going on over there, Gary? Disconnected by me. Well, first of all, I don't have a screen now. Period. We got to do something. Okay, no, it's fine. Whatever. He says disconnect. We have to redo the wiring here. So the 3-day autumn come. Yeah, the 3-day autumn. Shmak, the long beards, the whole thing. They're staring at the field. So one says it's worth 100, and two say it's worth 200. What do we do, Rabbi Isai? 2 against 1. We go with the roiv. Whatever the two say, that's what we do. Now it becomes givaldik. What? It's not this picture. I said I'm using this picture just to show how they're doing shuma. One says 80, one says esrim. Esrim is 20 sela. So 20 times 4, because each sela is worth 4. So when it says esrim, just insert 80. One says 80. 30 times 4. What's going on? 120. And one says mana. The first one says mana. One says 100, one says 80, one says 120. Like you see on the chart on top. What do? Rabbi said, what do you do when you have such a case? So everybody here would say that you do the average. And basically you get 100. One says 80, one says 120. So you do the middle, 100. So that's what the Gemara says. That's what the Gemara says, but a little different than that. It is 100 according to the Tanna Kamma for a different reason. Rebbe Lezer b'Reb Tzadik Omer nidoim betishim. Here, next chart. This is 100. Next one. Rebbe Tzadik says you get 90. Hit it. Great. Acher moimrim oisin shuma beinayim umeshalshin. This is givaldik. Go to the next one. Acher. How much is there a difference between 80 and 120? 40. Take 40. You divide it by 3. How much is 40 divided by 3? 13.3. You take that number, 13.3, and you add it to the lowest number. What's the lowest number on the screen? 80. So total of 93.3. The Olam went to Panovich. Gewaldig. Here we go. Here it is. You take the highest number and the lowest number. The difference between them is 40. Take 40 divided by 3 is 13.3. 13.3, you add it to the 80, and now you have 93.3, and you put it over here. Boom. That's what they say. 93.3, that's it. That's the whole Sugya Shalom Yisrael. The guy that said it, he never understood it, he literally, I'm not joking, he went to Panovich. So now he finally understood it. Okay? Man do Omar Nidoy Mimano. The Tanna Kama that says, there you go, you give the guy 100. So go back to him. Tanna Kama, 80, 100, and 120, you give him 100. Why? Milsa Mitziasa. What does that mean? You think it's the average. So the Rashbam says something very interesting. He says, think about it. The two rabbis on the right, they say that it's 80 and 100, meaning there's no way, the most it could be is 100. The two rabbis on the left say 120 and 100. So the least it could be is 100. So therefore, since we have a consensus that the most it could be is 100, and the two rabbis on the left say the least it could be is 100, therefore we give it 100. Not because of an average. Because let me ask you a question. What if the middle rabbi said 112? 112. Now your average is going to be off. I don't know what the math is. I'll tell you the truth. I don't know. 80, and then you have a 112, and you have a 120. It moves. It's not going to be, what? 104. Actually, I did know that one. 104. So I'll ask you a question. In the case where it's the center guy says, center rabbi, center dayan, shouldn't call him a guy, center dayan. I don't know, stop. When he says 112 and the guy on the right says 80 and the guy on the left says 120, is it 104 because we do an average? Or we go with the guy in the middle who says 112 and it's 112. No average, 112. Based on what the Rashbam says, we do 112. Why? Because his svara is, Gary, I need this chart up. No, not that one. Oh, that's fine. Leave it over there. So based on what the Rashbam says, now let's take. I don't have a chart for this, but 80, the least it could be is 112. 80 and 112. I mean, the most it could be is 112. 80 and 112. The least it could be is 112. 120, 112. Oh, so I'll go with 112. Not because it's an average. Not because I do a mathematical calculation. I take out all the numbers and I put them in a chant and I come out with 104. It's because the least it could be and the most it could be. Okay? Nu chiddush. Rebbe Lezer, Rebbe Tzadok Oim Anidem V'Tishim. Where did he come up with 90? Kosovar, Ha'ara, Tishim. At the end of the day, this land is worth 90. Tishim Shava. And the reason why the guy on the right said 80, he made a 10. So what he's saying is that you can make a mistake by 10. 10 is a mistake. Everybody makes a mistake in 10. It's better to say that everybody made a mistake by 10. Tishim Shava. It's really worth 90, and he said 80. Why did he say 80? He underestimated it by 10. And the guy that said 100, he made a mistake 10 above. Oh. Smack him a little sugya. Let's just finish these lines. Adarabba. So maybe say the opposite. You forgot that there's three numbers here. There's three numbers, 80, 100, and 120. Say, okay, the guy that said 80 made a mistake. He underestimated. The guy that said 100, overestimated. Maybe go with the 120 and the 100. Say the guy that said 120 overestimated, and the guy that said 100 underestimated. Who told you the guy that said 80 underestimated? Maybe it's really worth 110. The guy that said 100, he made a mistake 10 below. The guy that said 120, he overestimated. So our answer is very simple. What do you do in such a case, Rabbi Isai? Throughout Shas, we have to know the Yisod in Shas. If you have two options, the lower says Ari Rosenberg, who knows many Mesechtes Baal Peh. Huh? Rosenstein. Sorry. I can't even remember a name Baal Peh, and he remembers Mesechtes Baal Peh. Tafasta Meruba. Oh, we have a new guy. I knew there's another guy. What's your name, Tzadik?
Leo Loeffler.
Leo Loeffler. Why were you hiding from me before, Leo? Okay, you're just. Where are you from?
From Hadera.
Ah, you came in today? Wow. Were you shooken up yesterday? There was a very bad terrorist attack in Khadera yesterday. Wow. You were there? You saw the thing?
Yeah, the Kitab on the news, so we were there.
Wow. I'm not going to ask what everybody else says.
Why did they kill him?
Why did they kill him?
It's a good shiloh.
It's a good shayla. Okay, wow. Thank you for coming. How far away is Khadera from here?
An hour and 15.
Hour and 15 minutes, you show. Going back is 2 hours. Wow. I want to say, you know what? Let me just say, I forgot to say this. Let me mention real quickly. I had the zchus to be driven by Shamshi, Shlafrak, go with Mendy and Taki. Where's Taki? Is he here somewhere? Oh, hi Taki. The four of us, we went to Eli yesterday. First of all, you go to Yerushalayim. First you drive to Yerushalayim. From Yerushalayim, it's like another half hour to Eli. From Yerushalayim all the way to that yeshuv with 1,000 families, it's all Arabs the entire way. Just Arab license plate. It's unbelievable that they live there. Unbelievable. It's each person makes a sacrifice there. It was a big chizuk to go there. The mother of the Chayal, who also lost her husband in Eli 5 years ago from a terrorist attack, all she said was that she feels the Gula is coming, and this is how Kosh Baruch Hu is doing the Gula is coming. Anyway, one of the very special things, if I remember, you remember his name? Rabbi Tirosh. What's his first name? Oad Tirosh. Yeah, I have his thing. Hold on, I'll get there in a second. Oad Tirosh. Reb Oad Tirosh. He's Rosh Shiva. He's one of the Chashiva Rosh Yeshivas in the Tilumi circles. He looks just like a passion. You know, he walks in the street, the shirt, this. You never realize he's Rosh Shiva. So we had a long schmooze with him. One of the special things that he told me, us, because I started asking him, we started talking and learning, so I, of course, diverted his attention to the tanks and to the military stuff. They lost, in Eli, they lost 24 guys. 24 of the people that got killed in Azan from Eli, from the Mechina in Eli. So I was asking him about the tank, the Karit Avir, what is it called? Mir Ruach. They invented this thing that when they shoot RPGs at tanks, it's able to knock it down. So he said, oh, you're talking about that? Let me tell you. The guy that invented it, his name is Shimon Gorodetsky. And he's 63 years old. And at 63 years old, he decided he wants to learn Torah full time. And he came to Eli, he started learning Torah. That's it. So now he's a full timer. So Rebbe Akiva is at 40. He's at 60. He said he might have learned before, but he put him in the youngest shir, the shir that they only learn 30 taisvis and 40 marshas a year. That's the beginning shir. That's the shir he's in, and I don't know where he's maybe graduate. 63 years old, a genius, a guy that invented these things, worked with Raphael and all these, invented a thing that saves Chayalim from these RPGs and these other crazy movies. Now he's learning Torah. Anyway, but tafasta meruba loy tafasta. Turning to the daf, the Belsky family for Tishrei, in memory of Simcha, Berel, Dovid, Ben Avraham, Moshe, and by Kidnovations LLC, my uncle Elchanan, Pressman, and Fishel. It should be zchus, Akiva Simcha Ben Fayga, shidduch for, I think he told me to change the name a little bit. I hope this is it. Rivka Yehudit Bas Zechurya. Thank you to my wife, and it should be zchus for a year filled with Mazal Tov Gary, Parnassa B'revach and Refuah. So now we're going to have the same thing again. Don't worry about it. Where are we? Just kidding. Maybe this land is worth 110. The guy that said 100 made a mistake backwards. So Matayras Mana, just take the first two because they didn't get at, they're at least agreeing that it's 100, that's within 100. So the Rashbam says, not literally like that, it just means tafasta merubale tafasta. If you have the two numbers, you can go with the lower number 90 or 110, just go with the 90. Acheir Moimrim, what's the sheet of Acheir? Oisim Shuma Beineim Mishalshlim. Remember the whole Acheirim. Acheirim is you take the difference between all the numbers, this guy. You take 80 and 120, the difference is 40, and you divide the 40 by 3, so it comes out to 13.3. This is not the whole. Here, this is the calculation. Because they hold that this land is worth 93.3. And the reason why he said 80, he made a 13.3 mistake. Thank you. Everybody's making a 13.3 mistake. The problem is that if it's worth 93 and the guy said 100, he didn't make a 13.3 mistake. What mistake did he make? 6.6. So what should have he said? He should have said here. He should have said 106.6. Sounds like a FM station or something. Okay. If you're in high school, you know what I'm talking about. Obedenu, huh?
The exact is 106.7. Two-thirds is 106.
But this sounds like a FM. That's not an FM station. No, I'm just kidding. Says Rosh Koilel, who knows math better than me, the Panavicher. I doubt it. That's one. It's close to one. Givaldic. Okay, but listen, if that's the only order today in the shir, I'm very happy. We're going to ask Yoshi to change it. Ubedinu Dilma delay melate fake. He should have said 106.6, and he said 100. Why? I'm worried. I don't want to go that much higher than him. It doesn't make sense. He's saying 80. We schmooze this out. It doesn't make sense that I should be so far away from him. He said 80. I'm going to go 106. I'll do 100. But the mistake is 13.3. Maybe if you're doing that, say that the land is worth 113.3. The guy that said 100, he under-evaluated by 13.3. He said 100 instead of 113. It's the same thing, Rabbi. It's very simple stuff. The guy that said 30, which is 120, it should have been 126. But he said 120. Let me see. Okay, 93.3. Here, he should have said 126, right? Because he made it's 113.3, and he made a 13.3 mistake, so he should have said 126.6. It's enough. I don't want to be that much above my friends. Okay. The other guy said 100, and I can't say 126. 120 is enough. Says Gemara, same question as we had before. Oh, you're asking me that you should go this route. It should be 113.3. Says Gemara, it's better to go with the lower number than the higher number. This whole thing of you take the number, you divide it by 3, it gets to 93.3, the halacha is like acherim. Or Ravashi, time acherim lo yadinon. Who says this? Rav Huna says, the halacha is like acherim. You do this whole complicated thing. You take the difference between the lowest number and the highest number, which is 40. Divided by 3 is 13.3. Add it to the lowest number is 93.3. Time acherim lo yadinon. I never understood where they got this whole, why should I do this calculation like that? You want me to pass them like them? No way. So who's the Yonu Goyla? The Rashba and Rashi always say the Yonu Goyla is Shmuel and Karna. They say same thing. This like Acherim. 93.3. Ravuna, who said it before, says the same thing. In other words, halach is like Acherim, and halach is like the Yonu Goyla. Or Ravashi, time the Yonu Goyla Yadina. I don't even know what the reason is behind it. I should do halach like them. So Givaldik and Maisa with Rav Shach, he went to the Briskerov. The Briskerov was the Galad Dar then in Eretz Yisrael. Chazanish, Briskerov, there's a certain Kufa that he's the leader in Klal Yisrael. And he's known, a big Eloi, big, Oilem Yeshivas, we learned the Briskerov. So he went to him and he asked him, what's pshat in your father's vart over here? Reb Chaim wrote something in the Sefer. It doesn't make any sense. It's a Mefurish Gemara, not like this. So he says it's a very good kasha, but I could tell you that when my father wrote that, he had this exact Gemara open to there. So Rav Shach said, yeah, but what's Pshat? He says, I don't know, I can just tell you. So he said, listen, that's not how Torah works. If I don't understand it, if you can't explain to me what the Pshat is, very good, your father had it open there. I'm asking, he had it open. But that doesn't help me for what I need. So basically, that's what they're saying over here. I hear, yeah, you're right. That's what the Dayana Goyla said, and this is what Acherim said. Everybody said like this. We don't understand it. We don't understand it. Torah b'shamayim, we need to understand it. What was the lashon he said? Some like strong lashon. Okay.
Strong lashon was in the next story.
Oh. Says that was my story that I was not allowed to say. Says the Mishnah. This whole Mishnah has to be explained, and it will be explained in the Gemara. If I sell you a half a field, you see this field, I'm selling you half. Which half? The other half. Yeah, I'm a bucky and half a shas. Which half? The other one. Wherever you ask me, I'll say something else. I sold you half a field, the other one. So what do? You do some sort of appraisal, and he gets a half. We have to understand what that means. I'm selling you the southern part of the field. So what should he get? He should get the southern part of the field. No, that's not what he gets. We do an appraisal. Why do you have to do an appraisal? Just give him the southern end of the field. So the Gemara is going to explain. And he accepts upon himself, the seller has to pay for or he has to take upon himself the place that you put the fence on, and the ditch, and the son of the ditch. We'll see what that means. There's ditches that animals shouldn't run into the field. How wide is this ditch? Shisha tfachim. Uben charetz shloisha. I'll show you like, okay, in South Africa or anywhere you go, so you have a hotel, and in order that the lions, leopards shouldn't come in, you have these electric fences all around the property. The first night that I was in a safari ever, apparently leopards who are, leopards. I don't know if anybody ever saw my picture of the leopard. Anybody? No. The leopard jumped over the fence into the hotel, and they started searching for him. So I asked the guy if I could go along, and my wife she's not happy, but that's why I did it. And I searched for the leopard with the guy. He said, nah, they're not gonna, this scared of human beings, flashlight, the whole thing, it was geschmack. We did not find them. Anyways, here's another one. You can see they put up fences for these animals. In the time of the Gemara, they had a better way, because this apparently is not the most effective kind of fence. So what they did is they would build ditches. They'd build a ditch, and it's very hard for these animals, by the way, come into the hotel in seconds. No, the electric fence is nothing for them. They're all over the hotel. Fine. So if it's between the owner and the seller and the buyer gets the worst piece of the property. Says Rebbitzen to Rebbitzen. What do you mean? It says in the Mishnah, you take an appraisal and then you divide it like that. What do you mean he gets the worst? You were busy eating dates in Iraq. Then look at the end of the Mishnah, you'll figure it out. So, first of all, I thought about it. As soon as I heard this, I was like, I got to say this, but my chavrusa asked me not to say it. So, Mela, I'm going to say it. I'll say it very edel, as edel as I can. There's a little bit of a machlokes. I hope they made up before Yom Kippur. A little bit of machlokes going on in Eretz Yisrael, in the yeshiva world. So one of the yeshivas in America, he said his 2 cents, what he thought about the whole machlokes. So a Rosh Yeshiva here in Eretz Yisrael got upset, and he said, they're eating pizza in America, and they want to burp here in Eretz Yisrael. That's a very strong lashon. In other words, what are you mixing into our thing? That's what he said over here. You're eating dates in Bavel, and you have a right to talk to ask questions over here. This is Rabbi Yechon told him, very strong. Well, I'm talking about dates, so real quickly, it's late, we got to go. But a very, very important thing to know, that Eretz Yisrael has very, very good dates. But there was an Israeli guy, I have a picture of him, who actually brought dates to Eretz Yisrael. He smuggled 20,000 date trees, palm trees, out of Iraq. 20,000. This is him on the right. And he brought it here to Israel. He thought it would be easy. They couldn't plant them. It didn't go well. They had to get a guy from Iraq to do it. And the guy in Iraq said, absolutely, it's awesome for me to, help the Jewish state. And they paid him good money. He said, oh yeah, it's 100% mutter. And then no, it's zechus. And then he went back to Iraq and he no longer lived. And it happens to be, I have in my pocket here, this is all part of the story. I have here 2 dates. Each date here is worth 80 shekel a date. This is the Mr. date. It was given to me by Gil. Gil is the pilot. His mother works in these things. They found one pit that's 2,000 years old from the time of Beis Hamikdash. They planted it and this is what came out.
Shelach is a male.
Mr. is a male.
Another one, Chana.
They found a male and a female. There you go.
They found Chana, they were able to make the baby.
They're a little old. They're about 2,000 years old these dates. Not really, I'm kidding. And I left it in my pocket by mistake overnight. It's going to be delicious. So that's that. By the way, this guy, as a side note, he was watching an ear show here in Eretz Yisrael, and a plane crashed and fell on him. And he was nifter. Anyway, the Chavis Yar says that just like the Iraqi dates are the best dates, that's what he says. That's why I'm saying this whole thing. The Israelis, the Majul that you have here today in Israel is from this guy who brought it from Iraq. And obviously they don't let you take out their dates and plant them all over the world. He says it means that Kafniyasa means a small date. You're a small date. He went to explain that he meant you ate it when it's not ripe. So let's look at this Mishnah. The whole Mishnah explains it. The what? If I say I'm selling you the southern part, so you know what? Rabbi said like this. Let's do this. Let's just finish here. I don't know if we can finish the whole parak, even though it's very, very short. Because we got to do. But I want to remind you before you get up, Rabbi Rosenstein, I'm going to call you Rosenberg. Rosenberg, sit down. We're starting a brand new parak. Erev Yom Kippur. Tell your friends, what a way to start off Yom Kippur with more Torah in your life. But let me just finish this at least. Why do you have to do a whole appraisal? He said, I'm selling you the southern part of the field, so you have to understand what it says here. He tells him, says Rabbi Yochanan. Think about it. The Mishnah is saying he doesn't get the southern part of the field. He said it. What he meant is the value, the evaluation of the southern part of the field. I'll give you that value anywhere around the whole field. So therefore, I do an evaluation, and whatever the evaluation is, I give it to you anywhere I want on the field. I can give you a giant piece that's worth less. I give you a smaller piece that's worth more. I can do whatever I want. We're doing evaluation here, he tells him. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.